Hi, welcome to Kimsville. We're so happy that you are joining us as a new chief. Hi, I'm Melissa George. I am the principal, and I am going to start off by sharing some information with you, and then you will meet some of our other administrators who will share additional information to ensure that you have a successful start to your time here at Kimsville. First off, the administrative team is made up of several individuals, myself, Mrs. George, the principal, and then I have Ms. Hill, Mr. Barber, Mr. Bennett, Mrs. Bates, and Mr. Patrice as assistant principals, and our EBA coordinator is Miss Timlin. And you can see that they are assigned students by alphabet, by your last name. So look for your last name where it starts so you can see who your administrator is. And if you're in the academy, you will have Miss Timlin as your administrator. We also have a large school counseling department. You can see on the screen all of our school counselors are listed, and they are too broken down by last name. So please look for the counselor that has the letter that your last name begins with, so you will know who your counselor is and who you'll be working with to schedule classes, to work on if you have any concerns or if you need someone to talk to. You'll know who it is that you can go and meet with. We also have two individuals that are with the school counseling team. We have Mr. Hoffman, who is our graduation coach. He is there to work with students to ensure that they are meeting their goals and they are achieving so that they can graduate as planned, and that, while we love to have everybody here, we want you to walk across that stage in 4 years. And we also have Mr. Coaxum. He is our access advisor. He is going to be the one that you go to if you need help with FAFSA, scholarships, financing, anything to do with college. He is going to be your go-to person to help you fill out all of that paperwork. So again, here's our school counseling team that you can work with throughout the year. I would now like to share with you Kimsville High School's vision, mission, and core values. At Kimsville High School, we are committed to creating future-ready students because we know that when students leave high school, there are multiple paths that they can take, and there is not just one road once they leave high school. And so we want to ensure that they have the skill set to take whatever path they decide to take, whether that is going off to college, going into the military, going into being employed, or even just exploring what those options are. We want them to have the skill set so that they can be successful once they leave high school. We're going to do this, and we ensure that they're going to come into a safe and inclusive learning environment. And we live in 5 core values, and those 5 core values are what drives us to do what we do every day. And we ask that students live in these core values as well in order to ensure that they have a successful and productive high school experience. The 5 core values are respecting differences, exploring new ideas, overcoming obstacles, striving for excellence, and collaborating to achieve goals. If we can remember these 5 core values, I guarantee you that we're going to have a great experience as a chief at Kimsville High School. I would now like to introduce a video that we show to our whole student body. And it is a video on anti-harassment, anti-bullying, and anti-hate speech. It really focuses in on the expectations that we have school-wide on how we are to respect one another. While the video might be focused on athletics, the message goes to everybody throughout the halls of Kimsville High School. And our goal here is to ensure that we are respecting those around us. We are blessed to be part of such a diverse school that we can learn so much from one another if we just take the time to get to know one another. So please take some time to watch this 2-minute video so that you can understand who we are as Kimsville High School and who we are as Virginia Beach City Public Schools. After the video, Mrs. Hill will take over and she will continue to share some additional tips on how to be a successful chief.
Here are some ways to be a successful chief in the classroom. Be proactive, not reactive. Get it done early so you don't have to worry. As soon as you procrastinate, you'll set yourself up for an unexpected emergency. Check your Canvas messages and your student view on a daily basis. Be prepared to do the work. When you charge your cell phone at night, you should also be plugging in your Chromebook. Make sure that you have paper and a writing utensil and any other materials that your teacher has said are required for that class. Actively participate. Kimsville is such a diverse place to go to school You are able to bring your viewpoints to class discussions and group work and help other students learn from you, and you can learn from them. You should also be asking questions and asking for help early and often so that you don't fall behind. Be a person of your word. If you mess up, say you're sorry, then change your behavior to prove it. Everyone makes mistakes. It's what you learn from them that sets you up for success in the classroom as well as outside of the classroom. Now let's talk about some ways that you could be a successful chief outside of the classroom. Get involved. There is so much to do here at Kempsville High School. Sports, clubs, and guess what? If you don't like the ones that we have here, you can create your own. How cool is that? Avoid the drama. Remember, if a person is spilling the tea to you, they'll spill it about you. Be careful with that. Practice self-care. If you're sick, please stay home. You don't want to share that with your teachers or your friends. Get a good night's rest. Wash your hands. Make sure you're eating right. Takis do not count as a meal. And lastly, represent the Chiefs. That pride should shine through, especially if you're wearing one of our t-shirts or uniforms. Always show respect to yourself and to others, and you will be a very successful chief outside the classroom. To also be successful, we need to talk about attendance. Our guidelines for attendance: if you have 5 unexcused absences for the year, you will be put on an attendance contract. 6 unexcused absences for the year will equal a student support team conference to see how we can help you. And 7 absences for the year that are unexcused will equal a court referral. Waivers will be assigned to those students who have 7+ absences per semester class. Those are your AB year-long classes, and 14+ absences in your 4x4 classes. Students will need an approved waiver to receive credit for the course if your absences exceed the numbers that I just spoke about. If you are absent, once again, being a successful chief, be proactive. You can speak with Ms. Hodges, who is in the guidance office. She is the attendance office associate. Her number is there, as well as email any notices of absences to the address on the screen. Next, Mr. Patrice will discuss tardies.
Being punctual is a valuable life skill. Here at Kempsville, we track tardies for each 9-week period. If you're late to class, please report to the nearest tardy station. To enter class, you must have an approved pass. Here are the consequences for being late to class. For 46 tardies, you will receive a lunch detention for each tardy during that window. For 7 to 9 tardies, you will meet with an administrator and receive a referral for after-school detention. For 10 or more tardies, you will receive a referral, ISS, and a conference may be scheduled with your parent. Let's all aim to be on time and respect our learning environment. During transition, please remember to walk and talk, ensuring you maintain appropriate language and conversation topics. During instructional blocks, if you need to be in the hallway, always request a paper pass from your teacher and make sure it is visible. Also remember that electronic devices like cell phones are not to be used in the hallways during class time. Lunchtime is not just for eating, it's also an opportunity for you to do something productive. Please keep in mind, you don't need to report directly to the cafeteria. When you do, you will get in line behind the red stanchions if the cafeteria is full. Only get in line if you are purchasing lunch. You can be with your friends afterwards. There is no standing in the cafeteria. Once you have your lunch, please have a seat or exit. Also, remember, always clean up after yourself. There are no outside deliveries permitted. Use an indoor voice and appropriate language. Find something productive to do, whether it's studying, reading, or engaging in a constructive conversation. Remember, there is no horseplay at any time. And lastly, be respectful of all spaces, ensuring that everyone has a pleasant lunch experience. I will now turn it over to Mr. Bennett to review security procedures.
Always remember to keep your personal belongings secure. We have day lockers available for your use, and if you need assistance, please ask one of our security assistants. Avoid sharing your personal information with others, whether it's online or in person. Never give someone your password and account, even if they say they need it. Staying vigilant about your items and information helps protect you and your belongings. It's important also to treat peers and staff with respect. We're all a part of the same school community, and kindness goes a long way. If you see any bullying or suspicious behavior, please report it immediately. Additionally, be mindful of how you use your social media accounts because what you share matters and will last forever. Lastly, help keep our school clean by disposing of trash and recycling properly, particularly at one lunch. For safety, all visitors must follow sign and procedures and enter through the front main entrance of the building. If you notice any unauthorized individuals, report them immediately to a staff member. Also remember not to prop open doors as this compromises the security of our school and could result in an expulsion. If you need to know where your bus is at the end of the day, make sure you scan the Where's My Bus app. Once you've scanned it once, you can save it and then just open it at 2 o'clock when you're exiting class for fourth block. The map will update daily, so locations of buses will not always be the same from day to day. Just be mindful that Academy buses leave no later than 2:05, and all other buses will leave no later than 2:08. Thank you. Now to Ms. Timlin.
Code policy here at Kempsville High School. Teachers do follow that honor code policy. And when a student is in violation of that policy, when a student has submitted work that is not their own work, there are consequences for honor code violations, including submissions generated by AI. We want to know what you know, so always submit your own work. Next, I'm going to talk about responsible technology use for Chromebooks. All students are assigned a Chromebook. They are responsible for that Chromebook. That Chromebook allows them to operate most of the technology needed by teachers in a classroom setting, and all testing is completed on the Chromebook. It's important to remember that Chromebooks are owned by the school division, and the contents and web history can be searched if there's suspicion of inappropriate activity with the Chromebook or apps on the Chromebook. So just remember that it is your responsibility to take care of that Chromebook and that you are responsible for what you're using it for, which should be only school-related things. Next, I'm going to talk about cell phones. Cell phones are prohibited during instructional time, and that includes the hallways and study blocks, and even the bathrooms. So cellular phones and personal communication devices are prohibited to be used during instructional time, and that includes earbuds, headphones, watches. All of those things should not be used during instructional time. So it is very important that students store away those cell phones during that instructional block, and they should not be used during bathrooms either. Students who are found in violation of this policy, you can see on the screen what the consequences are. A first offense is a teacher warning and a contact home. The second offense is a referral to the administrator, and subsequent offenses are also referrals to the administrator. Teachers and staff members will enforce this regulation in a fair and consistent manner. So it's very important when you get in class, put that phone away. And lastly, responsible technology use of social media. You're responsible for what you post, and you will be held accountable for what you post on and off school grounds if it's offensive or affects others who learn and work at Kempsville High School. Your social media posts can be used in school investigations, so consider what you post before posting. There are repercussions for students who post things that happen at school without gaining proper permission beforehand. So it's always important to remember to think before you post. And now I'll turn it over to Ms. Bates to talk about dress code.
The next few slides of the presentation will cover dress code guidelines that are considered allowable and the policies regarding non-allowable attire. By understanding these guidelines and policies, we can ensure a respectful and inclusive environment for all students and staff. Let's explore the specifics of what is acceptable and what is not when it comes to dress code. Students must wear both a shirt with straps following the three-finger rule, with pants, shorts, or skirt and shoes. Shirts, dresses must have fabric on front and sides, must cover undergarments, fabric may not be see-through, hats, headwear must allow the face to be visible and not interfere with the line of sight to any student or staff. Hoodies must allow the student's face and ears to be visible to staff, must be suitable for all classroom activities, including physical education, science labs, tech ed, and other activities. Specialized courses may require specialized attire, such as sports uniforms or safety gear. Now let's go over non-allowable dress code. Clothing may not depict the use of alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, or other controlled substances. May not depict pornography, nudity, or sexual acts. May not use, depict hate speech targeting groups based on race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, or any other protected groups. Clothing including gang identifiers must not threaten the health or safety of any student or staff. Clothing, shoes, jewelry, or grooming items must not pose a safety issue. Sunglasses may not be worn inside the building. No slippers or blankets. This slide provides a visual representation of the dress code. Remember, school is a learning environment and your clothing should reflect that. Shorts, skirts, and tops should not expose areas of the body that should be covered. Tops should fully cover the midriff, and shorts and skirts should be of an appropriate length, whether standing or moving. It is important to know that any staff member can report dress code violations. This means that if your outfit doesn't meet the guidelines, you could be anonymously reported by any teacher, administrator, or staff member. Violations of the dress code are taken seriously and can result in disciplinary action. This could include being asked to change into something more appropriate, having your parent bring a change of clothes, or even spending time in ISS if the issue isn't resolved. Adhering to these dress code guidelines helps create a respectful, safe, and inclusive environment conducive to learning. Remember, the dress code isn't about restricting your style, it's about keeping our school a place where everyone feels comfortable and focused on learning. So please make sure your clothing meets the guidelines. If you're ever unsure, don't hesitate to ask a staff member for clarification. Next, we have Mr. Barber.
As you know, vaping has become a serious problem with our teens. Nicotine and THC vapes are one of the largest infractions of our school board code of conduct. This year, there's a new policy as far as enforcing of this rule violation. A nicotine vape will start off with 3 days of in-school suspension, and it will go up after that. If a student is caught with a THC vape, it'll be a recommendation for expulsion or a SAPE recommendation, which is the Substance Intervention Program, if the student has not already attended the program. We also are mandatory to report this to our school resource officer, since any possession of either one of these products under the age of 21 is illegal and has to be reported. I want to remind everybody to show some respect to our custodial team who works tirelessly inside this building to make sure that we have a building that sets up a good learning environment. Whether you're at an athletic event or during the school day, during lunch, whenever it may be when you're on school grounds, please pick up after yourself and make sure that you do not create extra work for our custodians. They do a great job here at Kimsville, and we need to show that respect by cleaning up after ourselves. Here are some proactive steps to get you off to the right foot and a great start here at Kimsville High School. The first thing is stay organized. Very much of a common problem among high school students. If you have difficulties with your organizational skills, please make sure you sit down with your school counselor where they can give you some tips and tricks on how to stay organized while at school. The next, develop good study habits. This is something that a lot of students come to high school and do not have appropriate study habits, whether they have never bothered to study or just do not know appropriately how to study. Being a good studier will help you all the way through life, whether it's getting a new job, learning how to do a new job, going to college, or if you're in the military, studying new procedures and techniques. Develop good study habits is a lifelong skill that you should acquire. Seek help when needed. Whenever you don't know an answer, ask. Go find the answer. I assure you, somewhere in this building, there's the right answer to a question that you might have been thinking about. So never hesitate to ask an older student, go ask a staff member, go ask a school counselor, go ask an administrator. Always ask for help when needed. Balance academics and extracurriculars. Myself, as having 2 kids who participated in extracurricular activities throughout their high school careers, do believe in the benefits of extracurricular activities, whether it is clubs, athletics, no matter what it is. But you always must remember that academics comes first and that you need to be able to keep your grades while participating in the extracurricular activities. Staying healthy. Eat well. Go to sleep when you're supposed to. make sure you take care of your body. You've probably heard all the announcements by the school board that really will focus on attendance. School attendance has dropped off here in the last 8 years and has become a problem for almost all schools across this country. Take care of yourself, eat healthy, and get to school. Maintain a positive mindset. When you come to school with a positive mindset that you're ready to learn and that you're ready to learn new things and great things will happen during the day. When you believe you're going to have a great day, when you believe great things are going to happen, great things will happen. Prepare for the future. This starts with setting goals for yourself. What do you want to do when you leave high school? Something we spoke about earlier in this presentation. It is so important to have a plan post high school. This helps you focus and keeps your day-to-day activities focused on your future rather than just doing whatever comes to mind that day. Have those goals, set that future plan, and be successful. The next, manage stress. This anxiety and depression and stress-related illness is something that's become very common to our teenagers. Understand your stress. Go talk to somebody when you need to. Go seek help when you need to. Manage your stress, and you're going to have a successful school year. Follow all the tips in this presentation, and you will have a great 24-25 school year here at Kempsville. We're glad to have you as one of our students.